Okay, this is our focus group. What's the date? It's the May the 2nd, 2014. Focus group of Defaced trailer. So, what were your initial thoughts? How does it compare to original horror trailers that you've seen? Start with you, Andrew.
Well, really, it had the music, obviously, the most of them do. In a sense, it sort of gives away the entire plot.
Yeah?
Well, you see that your character that you play is insane, which in the trailers, but it kind of gives away who's the hidden.
Okay. Okay. Ed?
See, I quite liked it. I also liked the bit where the character Sarah had a knife and looked like she was doing something with her own face. So it looked like she might be into be into it as well. And she might be insane.
Good.
I think that it gave the sort of viewer an idea of what was going to happen, so you got to sort of get the idea, and you're not sort of go for some non-amically what was going to happen. But at the same time, I think it could have been more abstract.
Okay.
Like what Andrew said, it gave a bit too much away. But at the same time, I thought they sort of drew the sort of viewer in. It's just a bit of what you had there was good as it drew us in, but at the same time it gave too much away. It could have been more abstract, but besides that it was good.
Charlotte?
I agree, but I did think it was very good. Although I haven't seen any other horror movie trailers or anything, but I mean, yeah, it's very good.
Can I ask? Could you give more sort of hints that other people are sort of losing, if you will?
What do you mean?
Well, the sight of the character that Luke plays, seeing his girlfriend being defaced, seeing her being, on herself, you could show him more struck with, in a sense, he could become suicidal. So, like in the start, where she's rocking back and forth, you could do that with him as well.
Right. So you're saying his character representation...
Yeah, so like, rather than just give it that one person might be insane, you can give it away that might more...
Okay, yeah.
Did you get what was wrong with him?
It's schizophrenia, I assume.
Yeah, that's correct.
Did the genre come across clear to you?
Yeah.
Well, you can tell it's a horror, yeah. But
yeah, okay, that leads me on to my next question then. What aspects of the trailer gave it to you that it was a horror?
The jumping between scenes was quite a giveaway, and also the whole sketchiness of it, and it not being of a light.
The way it was represented, so being dark, and with the darker music as well.
Yeah.
And the swings, the empty village itself, really. And the fact that at the start it's that match constantly striking.
Okay, anything else in terms of colours, editing, text, sounds?
It was good in the way that it had it had what you would expect a horror trailer to be, which is good because it gives you a clear idea of what you're waiting for. But I think the only one thing I would improve besides it being abstract was the section where it goes from what had happened in the past, to sort of the burning down of the asylum or whatever, to your characters arriving. I think that transition could have been...
Well, you should show like you could have seen some of the patients actually going into the village.
Yes, it was sort of like, I thought it was a bit sudden. Sort of, you had the match drop and then they sort of just appeared. I thought that transition could have been slightly smoother. But besides that, I thought the overall thing was pretty good.
Good.
And besides being slightly giving away too much of the plot, it was quite good.
Okay.
And the shots and the editing and everything was fit to the genre.
Yeah. In what ways precisely? What kind of specifically?
The black and white and grainy of the start and of it being in the asylum, and then of course all the gore and the special effects is also put into that fact.
Okay, and that did distinguish as well, that effect at the beginning, that distinguished that that was a past event
Yeah.
compared to the present that was shown later on, yeah?
The only thing that really bothered me was when you showed Alice in it, and she had an even amount of blood just round her face. Well, if someone did have their face, or if you did put someone else's face on, you'd have more of a drops rather than just smooth line.
Okay, so you're saying like makeup
Yeah.
effects could have been more realistic. Okay, any other question?
What was the most iconic image for you in the trailer? What do you remember the most?
The match dropping. That was a big one for me.
Mine was more that when Jake was screaming at himself
Yeah.
rather than the match.
Yeah, I thought
So I mean, the match
was also
sets it
a
up,
thing.
but that just puts it over the edge. Really.
Yeah.
I thought that was the most distinguishable part.
What would you say was the climax of the trailer and how was it effective?
I thought the bit with, is it
It is.
sort of where he's just there with his face, I thought that was the most distinguishable bit. It's just
But
sort
when
of-
he's hanging up in the
Yeah. That's the sort of bit where you think, okay, this is
Yeah.
taking that direction towards being an extreme horror rather than just a simple, I'll scare you sort of horror.
My one really question is how did she get the matches into the asylum in the first place? Because that wasn't really defined.
How did she get
Well,
the
if we
match?
showed the whole film, like we actually directed and made it, we'd show how she stole it, but we didn't want
Only
enough
give
time.
Barry.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's why I think the first section was much better than the fact that it was more abstract.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the second section going into like where it is now was slightly more giving it away. I thought the first section was more fitting than the second.
Okay. Good.